Reverend Dr. Ken Gordon here, speaking to you for our April delivery of the themes for this month. This month's theme overall is where humanity and divinity meet. As a matter of fact, as individuals, the only place humanity and divinity can meet is, of course, within each of us. And by the way, happy Easter. I know it's going to be a great Easter weekend for you, and that this is the time that we believe resurrection takes place. This week's theme is titled, "The Lord is My Shepherd," and it comes to us from Reverend D. Jacqueline Edwards, who's the spiritual leader for the First Church of Religious Science in Vallejo, California. With Easter coming on to us the way that it is right now, and the way it does every year, it's only normal for us to be able to reflect back on the resurrection and the new birth of life around us. And that's exactly what we're doing in this Sunday's topic. We're talking about the resurrection of each of us as individuals as we come in contact with the truth of our own being within ourselves, where we find that thread that exists within us that's never any other place, that never goes away, and it's never not there. But when we locate it and when we embrace it and bring it into our being and into our life, what we find is the world transforms before our very eyes. What we find is that being birthed again is the truth of our being. You know, in the topic for this week, it's "The Lord is my shepherd," but it's important to note that the second line is, "and thou shalt not want." And that's really what we're talking about here. We're talking about being so comfortable in our own skin, so comfortable with who we are and the truth of who we are, that fear is not something that we consider or bring into our consciousness in any way, shape, or form. Instead, we view the world as the divinity that it truly is, because that's the reflection. The only thing that keeps us from doing that is when we bring our own past and our own future together to be able to make up stories about what's actually happening. Dr. Holmes said, "For every death there is a resurrection. This is the way of life. This is the way of evolution. No person can become resurrected to love and carry hate with them. This is absolutely impossible to do, even though we convert our old hates into theological ones and condemn others and think they're traveling the wrong road. For God is love, givingness, harmony, truth, beauty, wisdom, and power." This comes from Ernest Holmes in the Seminar Lectures. The other quote that he says is, "Now suppose there were at the center of the being of each one of us a clear channel to the infinite, which is forever pouring out through us in a unique way, because it never does two things alike, nor does it ever repeat itself. Somewhere at the center of our being, should we properly use it, would be that thing we all like to be, which is certain to be happy and well and prosperous, successful. It is certain to be established in peace, to experience joy, to know life. It is certain, if it is understood and permitted and cultivated, to bless everything that it touches. This would be our influence on our environment. It wouldn't be an influence that dominates people or controls them, but it would be an influence that would irresistibly bring back from most people a very great affection, a very great love." And this is from Ideas of Power. Finally, Dr. Holmes says, and in the book Practical Application of Science of Mind, "One thing that needs always to be kept in mind is the fact that any growth and development involves change." So the change that we're moving into here, this resurrection of our being that's taking place, utilizing and understanding that the Christ that we talk about is the great example, not the great exception, that really moves us to be able to look at our own being and our own self. And the change that's required is how we choose to view the world around us. I choose to view it as divine, as lovely, as being, as prosperous, as healthy, as energy. And when I do that, and I don't stray off to the minutiae of life that sits around me, what I discover for myself is that my life is filled with all of those same attributes that I seek to experience and to project into the world around me. Happy Easter. God bless you. Please know you're loved. Thank you.